oh, how everything can change in a matter of days. It was all good just a week ago. We beat up on the Chicago Sky a few days ago. 35-point victory. Caitlin Clark triple-double. Indiana Fever riding high. Indiana Fever fans riding high. Caitlin Clark supporters riding high. And then, of course, the dweebs do what the dweebs do. They make up nonsense. They make up lies. And the WNBA validate the lies. The WNBA validates the nonsense. The WNBA validates non-truths.
The Indiana Fever are done playing nice. And now they're threatening to boycott the entire WNBA over what they're calling straight-up lies. Not rumors, not drama, lies. But here's the kicker. Nobody's saying exactly what those lies are. Suspicious? Oh, absolutely. From behind-the-scenes beef to explosive secrets, the Fever are moving like they know something the rest of the league really doesn't want out. Is this a power move or the start of a scandal that could shake the whole WNBA? Stay tuned. This one's about to blow wide open.
Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. This dump, this turd of turds known as the WNBA, this damn league can't get the hell out of their own way. They don't get it. They just don't get it. The diva of dump divas, Kat Engelbert, she does not understand how fragile this fan base is. And by fragile, I'm referring to their level of loyalty to pretend basketball, which in this case doesn't exist.
All right, buckle up. Because if you thought the WNBA drama was just about basketball, you're in for a reality check that's messier than your last breakup text. So here's the hot, sizzling mess on the court and off it. The Indiana Fever, led by none other than the dazzling, unstoppable Caitlin Clark, are basically the league's cash cow. The golden ticket, the crowd puller, the hype machine every sports exec dreams about. Ticket prices, through the roof. Sellout games? Check. New fans tuning in? Oh, absolutely. The Fever are bringing the heat, the energy, and the attention the WNBA desperately craves.
You would think the number one thing you'd be talking about after that game, after that amazing performance from Caitlin Clark, the triple-double, the amazing passes, the crazy shots, you'd think we would be talking about basketball. The number one thing you think we'd be investigating is how nobody else in the WNBA has ever done anything like Caitlin Clark is doing. We should be investigating the fact that Caitlin Clark's 4 threes in that game were more exciting than, like, if you go to 2022 and check out the top 10 plays of the WNBA season, her 4 threes in that game were more exciting than those 10 plays. Literally. Like, what she does in one game is single-handedly more exciting than anything we've ever seen in the WNBA. That's what we should be.
And yet, the league and its loyal fan base decide to act like the Fever are the bad apples rotting the basket. Why? Because the Fever's fans allegedly showed a little too much enthusiasm? Because Caitlin Clark dared to put a solid tackle on Angel Reese?
This is what started all of this.
It's a flagrant. And then Chicago will maintain the basketball. Reese misses.
Okay, that was it. That noise you heard right there that sounds a little bit like a dolphin was actually a YouTuber called Flight Reacts. A laugh. All right, a laugh. That it's my understanding actually gets played during NBA games too. That's what it's all about, because they tried to say that sounded like a monkey.
Let's rewind and play this like a classic reality show. Angel Reese, queen of side-eye and smirks, pushes a Fever player first. A full-on back-of-the-head nudge that screams, "I'm here to throw elbows and get away with it." Then Caitlin gives Angel a good, honest foul, fair, clean, and part of the game. And suddenly, the Fever fans are cast as villains. The league spins conspiracy theories about racism in the stands, and Angel becomes the untouchable martyr.
National television, it's been the most polarizing conversation in all of sports over the last 24 hours rather. Angel Reese, many would suggest that she overreacted, but Slick, do you have an issue with Angel Reese's reaction to Caitlin Clark's flagrant foul?
Yes, and I have an issue with the way she reacted. I have an issue with the way it's being handled by her, by the Chicago Sky, everybody involved.
The irony? The Fever fans are the only ones filling seats. They're buying jerseys, selling out arenas, and basically underwriting the league's paycheck. Meanwhile, the rest of the WNBA is sitting there like a grumpy audience watching their own ratings get eclipsed by one star and the team that supports her.
I'm just really thankful. They continued to show up for us, and they make a lot of noise. Like, they're into it. They're not just sitting there. Like, they're invested in this basketball. It's great for our league. It's great for every team that gets to come and play here. I think we've had a lot of great battles, and they've helped us win a lot of games on this floor. So, like I said, hopefully we can bring the playoffs back here and give them a taste of it, because they deserve it. It's been since 2016. So, it's only going to get better and better from here on out.
You can almost hear the whispers, "We want Caitlin to succeed, but not like that. Not while the Fever fans exist." Translation: we want the league to grow, but only if it fits the script of victimhood and manufactured drama. It's like the WNBA collectively decided that the best way to handle rising popularity is to burn the house down, starting with the very team that's keeping the lights on. And here's the kicker.
Not a flagrant foul on Caitlin Clark. Listen, I was at the game. If there was somebody being racist or saying shit, obviously boot him, never let him back. I would be stunned beyond belief if that was the case. This crowd, I've sat on the wood for a million games, been in a million environments. The crowd at the Fever game, little girls, families, ladies, nice crowd. You even though it's 100% false, by acknowledging we don't condone hate and not seeing that this was a internet rumor founded in complete bullshit, you're lending credence to this. There was none of that. It was a great crowd, a positive crowd. Yeah, Angel Reese deserved to get her ass booed when she attacked Caitlin on a normal foul. Other than that,
the very fans accused of racism are the same ones who showed up in droves to support their team. So, what's really going on? Is this about racism? Or is it about jealousy, control, and a serious dose of bitterness toward the Fever and Caitlin's skyrocketing fame? You want drama? Caitlin Clark is the most polarizing figure since sliced bread in the league. Angel Reese, whether you love her or not, is the league's preferred antagonist. And the Fever fans? Apparently the scapegoats for every ounce of tension that bubbles up. But here's the truth. Without Caitlin and the Fever, the WNBA might still be trying to fill half-empty gymnasiums with free ticket signs and awkward silence. Now, it's booming, and the very people who should be celebrating are trying to cancel the party. So while the league dithers, the Fever keeps scoring, on the court and in the hearts of fans. Because at the end of the day, no amount of petty drama can stop the real game. Basketball that sells out arenas, sells jerseys, and makes the sport impossible to ignore. Let the Fever play. Let Caitlin shine. And maybe, just maybe, the WNBA will learn that sometimes growth is messy, but it's absolutely worth it.
They wanted to hone their defensive skills last season. In the offseason, Stephanie White made it a point to drill that idea home. I mean, Caitlin Clark talked about upping her defense, and in the offseason, they picked up a lot of key defenders. They picked up Natasha Howard, who is the 2019 Defensive Player of the Year, and last season, the Connecticut Sun came in first in their defensive rating. So what did the Fever do? They took Stephanie White, they took Keith Porter, they brought in DeWanna Bonner, and they said, we're doing this right.
All right, let's peel back the curtain on this WNBA soap opera that's got more twists than a pretzel factory. You've got the Indiana Fever, the team that's basically turned the league's lights back on after years of flickering dimly like a bad phone signal. They've got Caitlin Clark, the rookie sensation who's not just breaking records, but shattering expectations faster than anyone expected. Fans are flocking to games, arenas are packed, ticket prices soaring like they've got rocket fuel strapped underneath, and merch sales are through the roof. It's basically a sports marketer's wet dream. But here's the kicker. Instead of a collective, hell yeah, let's ride this wave, from the league and fans alike, we get the exact opposite. The Fever and their fans are suddenly the villains in this story, accused of being too loud, too proud, and somehow too much. The kind of too much that apparently ruins the carefully crafted narrative the rest of the WNBA wants to push. It's like the league's own version of "you can't sit with us," but with basketball jerseys and some seriously questionable calls about who deserves to be on the court.
Today, the WNBA is investigating alleged racial comments that were directed at WNBA player Angel Reese by fans yesterday at the Gainbridge Fieldhouse. Actually, that game was on Sunday. The Players Union says it supports, on Saturday rather. The Players Union says it supports the investigation and condemns all forms of hate and discrimination.
So what's the real issue? It all boiled over after that infamous tackle, the one that sent the internet into a frenzy and the WNBA into what looked like a PR meltdown. Angel Reese, the league's reigning drama queen and the ultimate embodiment of attitude, got tangled up with Caitlin Clark in a moment that was basically basketball 101, contact, hustle, and a little roughhousing. But somehow, this normal in-game scuffle morphed into a full-blown witch hunt against the Fever. Suddenly, the conversation wasn't about who played harder or smarter, it was about racism, unsportsmanlike conduct, and whether the Fever should even be allowed to play. Now, let's put on our detective hats for a second. The whole thing kicks off when Angel Reese pushes a Fever player. A blatant move. A cheap shot, if you will. Nothing happens to Angel. No suspension, no headlines blasting her for dirty play. But when Caitlin responds with a solid textbook legal tackle, boom. The Fever fans are labeled racists. The league stirs the pot about fan behavior, and the media leaps into the frenzy like it's the season finale of a reality TV show. You start to wonder if someone accidentally swapped the sports channel with a daytime talk show.
People just aren't used to the heated intensity of a great rivalry. But in the NBA, we had MJ and the Pistons, we had Bird and Magic. We're kind of used to it. As Caitlin Clark in Indiana hammered the Chicago Sky, it was like 4.5 minutes left in the third, there was a foul. It should not have been upgraded to a flagrant foul. It was a foul. And I really think if you truly respect women's basketball, let them play. Sort of like guys. Rivalries equal ratings. Sports is better with intensity. Animosity is part of it. This is okay. Who cares if Angel Reese does it like Caitlin Clark? It's not soccer. I don't need...
But here's where the plot thickens. The Fever aren't just the new kids on the block. They're the reason arenas are buzzing again. The rest of the league? Not so much. You have to ask yourself why the sudden focus on problems with Fever fans when they're the ones actually showing up. It's like blaming the loudest, most passionate group at a party for the party being fun. Meanwhile, other teams and fan bases are silent spectators, watching their seats stay empty and their merchandise gather dust. And don't forget the impact Caitlin Clark is having on the sport itself. She's not just playing basketball, she's redefining the narrative. Here's a rookie who's stepping into a league where veterans were supposed to hold the spotlight, and instead she's grabbing the mic, rewriting the script, and making sure everyone knows she's here to stay. She's selling out arenas, breaking viewership records, and creating a buzz that's impossible to ignore. Yet, instead of being celebrated, she and the Fever are met with resistance. Resistance fueled by jealousy, territorialism, and frankly, a bit of bitterness. It's as if the rest of the league forgot that competition is supposed to drive sports forward, not hold it hostage with petty grudges and exaggerated drama.
Had Angel or anyone else done the exact same type of a foul to Caitlin, the storyline is different. I don't have an issue with the foul. I thought it was a hard foul. I was always taught you don't give up an easy basket, and that's what I thought Caitlin did. My thing with that was stand in it.
Stand on business.
Yeah.
I got no issue with none of it. It's just basketball soft as hell right now on both sides of it. There ain't no damn flagrant foul, man.
Hear your perspective on the flagrant foul. What was the point you were trying to make to her?
It's just a good take foul, you know? It's either wide open 2 points or, you know, we send him to the free throw line. Nothing malicious about it. It was just a good take foul. Every basketball player knows that.
Then there's the media circus. Every time the Fever hit the court, the narrative shifts from game on to who's going to start the next feud. It's like the league has become less about basketball and more about who can throw the best shade while maintaining a perfectly styled Instagram feed. Angel Reese, with her flair for dramatics, gets the royal treatment as the league's it girl, while Caitlin Clark and the Fever are cast as the antagonists. A plotline so predictable, it's almost comical. And the fans? The real fans who are shelling out their hard-earned money to fill seats, buy jerseys, and boost the league's profile get caught in the crossfire. Suddenly, supporting the Fever means you're the problem, while cheering for other teams means you're just another fan. The double standard here is glaring, It's like being told you can only root for your favorite if you do it quietly, politely, and without actually winning. Which brings us to the real kicker, the league's apparent desire to sabotage its own success. The Fever and Caitlin Clark are proof that the WNBA can grow, can captivate new audiences, and can compete with any sport for attention and respect. But instead of embracing that success, some seem determined to keep the status quo, clinging to outdated narratives and internal politics that do more harm than good.
Of this audience, they have no loyalty to the WNBA. Their loyalty lies with Caitlin Clark, and that loyalty, it is not guaranteed to extend to the rest of this putrid league. No one is loyal to the dump. No one cares about the WNBA.
Look at the bigger picture. The Fever are bringing in fresh eyes, new energy, and a fresh sound that the league desperately needs. Ticket sales are skyrocketing. Merchandise is flying off the shelves. Social media buzz is through the roof. And the media narrative, it's stuck on conflict, controversy, and who started it. Because apparently, a story about growth and excitement isn't nearly as clickable as a story about drama and division. It's also worth noting how this all feeds into larger conversations about sports culture, fandom, and the struggle for legitimacy. The WNBA is fighting for its place in the crowded sports landscape, and players like Caitlin Clark are the very reason it's gaining traction. Instead of being lauded as trailblazers, they're caught in crosshairs of jealousy and outdated gatekeeping. Meanwhile, Angel Reese and her legion of supporters are being protected as if they hold the keys to the kingdom, despite questionable behavior and on-court antics that wouldn't fly in most other leagues. The double standard is undeniable, and it sends a dangerous message that talent and hard work might not be enough if you don't fit the preferred narrative.
Yeah, you can just feel the energy from the crowd, like they're also just itching for it, and that's not why you play, but I feel like that's the part of the game I take a lot of pride in. I want to be able to do a lot of different things for this team, and honestly, when I think I get the ball off of a missed shot, off the rebound, like I think it's other teams have a really hard time stopping us in transition, and I can just pitch it up to my teammates to find ways.
Fans of the Fever who have shown unwavering support are being vilified for their passion. The media coverage often overlooks the positive impact the Fever are having and instead focuses on manufactured conflicts. It's a classic case of shooting the messenger, or in this case, the messengers. And let's not forget, this isn't just about basketball anymore. It's about identity, loyalty, and the power dynamics within the sport. It's about who gets to be the face of the league and who gets shoved to the sidelines. The Fever and Caitlin Clark represent change and progress. Angel Reese and her camp represent tradition and control. And as the drama unfolds, fans are left wondering who will ultimately win, the old guard or the new wave. The real losers? The fans and the sport itself. Because all this infighting, all this drama distracts from what should be the focus. Incredible basketball, rising stars, and a league on the cusp of greatness. In the end, the Indiana Fever and Caitlin Clark are more than just a team and a player. They're a movement, a spark that could ignite a revolution in women's sports. And no amount of petty squabbling, media spin, or internal politics can dim that light.
I need one word to describe Caitlin Clark.
Dog.
Slayful.
Generational.
Generational. Dominant. Passionate. Amazing. Powerful.
Historical.
Legendary.
Ready.
Explosive. Badass.
Indiana.
Awesome. Amazing.
Amazing. Extraordinary.
And we now have a statement from Mel Raines, who is the head of PSNE, saying, quote, "We are aware of the allegations of inappropriate fan conduct, and we are working closely with the WNBA to complete their investigation. We stand firm in our commitment to provide a safe environment for all WNBA players."
So, let the Fever play. Let Caitlin dominate. Let the fans cheer loudly and proudly. Because the future of the WNBA depends on embracing that energy, not trying to extinguish it. If the league wants to grow, it's going to have to decide whether it's rooting for success or for the status quo. And right now, the Fever and their fans are doing all the heavy lifting, on the court and in the stands. The question is, will the WNBA be smart enough to recognize that before it's too late? Well, only time will tell, but while some try to dim the Fever's flame, they're only fueling the fire. Watch closely, because Caitlin Clark and Indiana are rewriting the game, and trust me, this heat isn't cooling down anytime soon. Stay tuned, because the WNBA just got a whole lot more interesting.